Welcome to another awesome episode of Investment Chat in a Royce. And today I have Yvone Mtengwa from South Africa. Zimbabwe? I thought you said South Africa.
Zimbabwe.
Oh.
You will have me stoned by me.
Because you said you went to meet your family.
No. I crossed over. I was there, and then I went to Zimbabwe.
What's the distance?
It's an hour flight from Joburg.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's next to our neighbors.
Oh.
Our neighbors.
Okay. So, guys, so I'm here with Yvone Mtengwa from Zimbabwe, right? And she is a PR specialist and, of course, a journalist who has had to do work with so many brands, and including starting her career as an intern in CNN, and has created and founded Narrative PR. Narrative PR is a African Dubai-based PR communication company, and she also founded Travel Essence, and she's going to tell us a lot more about her business. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Akintayo. I'm really thrilled to be here today.
Thank you.
It's
good to see you. How was your trip?
It was good. It was packed. It was fun. It was soul food. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is it every of your episode you travel?
Well, obviously with COVID, we were limited in our ability to do that.
Yeah.
I've been able to do a lot of collaborations locally.
Okay.
And obviously just extending on my networks. Everything's digital, so it's literally reaching out to different brands, different hotels, different players in the industry, and saying, listen, I need a story on this. And then, they sent it across, and we still curate the content. So I don't physically have to be on location to curate the content.
But this one, you are in South Africa.
This one, I took a trip out to South Africa.
Okay.
It was a business/personal trip with my family.
Okay.
But I snuck in a couple of collaborations there while I was there. I tried to mix my work and play.
Yeah, nice.
And then crossed over into Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
We were in Victoria Falls and Hwange National Park.
Wow.
Touching on luxury travel in that part of Zimbabwe.
Wow.
100 million naira. That's it. Oh yes. I just got the alert. Congratulations on becoming a landlord. It's nice doing business with you.
Daddy?
Yes, darling?
How do you make so much money? You're always calling millions on the phone.
I make sacrifices.
Sacrifice? What type of sacrifice?
When you give up something of value for the sake and consideration of other things, that's a sacrifice. I invested in real estate when the opportunity came, even when it was not convenient. And that's a success story we are reaping today.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
You don't wait to buy real estate. You buy and wait.
Take advantage of this amazing opportunity today.
GTEX Homes. We help you build your future.
GTEX Home is a brand with vision of having the largest green and smart estate with innovation and technology. The vision has given birth to Jasper Gardenia along the coastline of Ibejuleki, Lagos. The first green and smart affordable estate. Now, Jasper Estate is just 10 minutes away from Dangote Refinery and is just opposite the Lekki Golf Course. And guess what? The title is Gizet. Now, you can get a property here because here, my friend, is the future.
GTEX Homes. We don't just sell properties. We help you build your future.
It's good.
So your next episode we should be watching out for.
You should. All the content will be in the pages of Travel Essence magazine anyway. That's where we feed all the content in our pages. Yeah, and lots of social media coverage as well.
Why Travel Essence, and how did the ideas come to you?
So Travel Essence magazine is a COVID baby. I say that very openly. Yes, it was reading different feeds on social media. A lot of my friends, my career has been in destination marketing for a few years.
Okay.
And a lot of my friends in the industry were talking about how the border closures were impacting revenues and tourism. So, I thought to myself, well, I'm in Dubai and there's 200 plus nationalities here. And in all my 8 years living in this country, I still get the rudimentary questions on Africa, which I'm like, why?
How come?
How come? You know? So I thought, well, you know, mainstream media is skewed sometimes in the coverage, and because travel and leisure lifestyle is something that I'm really passionate about, working with consumer brands. I wanted to put all my passions together in a publication. So that's how Travel Essence magazine was born. It was born as a personal call to action to support industry players on the continent with promoting their products, promoting their properties, telling the story of travel, throwing in the culture piece, you know, with people, so people understand the differences. People say Africa, but it's 54 whole countries.
54.
Yes.
Get that.
54 whole countries, and we're all so different. Our cultures are different. The number of languages are completely different.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So how's it been since you started?
It's been incredible. I didn't anticipate the uptake. I didn't anticipate the level of excitement that people had when reading our content. I work with a lot of media, obviously being in the PR space, and you know, being in this region, there's a lot of content around the Middle East, obviously. But just to look around and see the success of our publication to date, and knowing that we're the sole media outlet, sole magazine, sole publication that tells the Pan-African story from the perspective of Africans living in Dubai in the Middle East, as well as Africans on the continent, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they're investors in the tourism and lifestyle space, the different hotels and things, conservation pieces as well. I love it. It's like my heartbeat as it relates to work. I really enjoy that, and I love that I get to take my family, my kids with me on the journey as well.
Wow, amazing. For you, the concept of narrative PR, is every PR narrative, or that was your tweak to it?
So narratives PR was actually founded before Travel Essence. So narrative PR is the mothership, if you will. And I called it narratives because I'm really passionate about the African narrative. What is it? What stories are we telling? You know, so I wanted a name that sort of just cuts straight to the chase. You know, and we curate stories. We tell the African story from our perspective through our lens. Most of my clients have some interface with the continent.
Yes.
You know, that's sort of how I've pivoted the business. And it's a personalized approach to doing that as well. So all my clients have, you know, face-to-face interaction with me. They deal with me with every brief, with every campaign. I am really engrossed in the essence of what we're doing, and we just grow that way. We just grow, and we try to support the small guy. I use that term loosely because
I don't think so. She's not that cheap. Speaking from experience, she's not. So she can tell the small guy, but well, I mean, small is relative.
Yeah.
But my next question is, how important is PR, you know, in this digital world, and of course post-COVID? How important is PR for business in this day and age?
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've come to understand in my journey and in my journey in the comm space is a lot of people don't actually understand what PR means. And PR is part of the integrated marketing reel. So obviously, you know, you've got marketing, and people equate marketing to billboards and all of that, right? And advertising and all of that. But PR is a long haul process. You know, it's about, okay, we have Dr. Akintayo, but how do we dissect him in a manner that connects with the people that he's speaking to, right? So you can't just put out a press release and think you've done the job and it's enough. And I think people have that expectation. I've had clients who are like, we'll just do one press release, and they think that's it. But it's not. It's a long-term process until in driving key messages and driving key messages that are attached to campaigns and curating content that speaks to a specific demographic, depending on what, you know, what it is, and rolling out strategies. It's a lot of in-depth work and analysis as well. To answer your question about the importance of it, it's critical. I think it's critical. I think, you know, it's one of those things that you must have. You must always have a PR ally, or have somebody who manages your PR and can have like an eagle's eye view over everything that you're doing. There's a lot of competition right now. A lot of competition. It doesn't matter how big or small your business is, you've got competition. And so what cuts through that is, how are you going to convince people that are buying from that guy to buy from me? or how am I going to convince people that are reading that magazine to read mine? And that's where the PR aspect comes into play.
G-Text Homes,
a subsidiary of G-Text Global, brought to you by Stephen Akintayo,
and is bringing you
Jasper Estate. It is located along the urban area of Ibeju, Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria.
This is just luxury at the tip of your fingers, with just 12 minutes drive from the Lakapine Tropicana.
It's 15 minutes from Dangote Refinery.
And it's 5 minutes to Lekki Town.
2 minutes from Stone Beach Resort.
It is just adjacent to the Dangote Jetty.
And if you're one that like to travel down memory lane and be in tune with the relics, Awolowo Museum is 5 minutes away. It is barely 11 minutes from Lekki Deep Sea Port.
Pick up that phone, dial that number, send that WhatsApp message to the number on your screen, and secure your slot today.
Also available in Abuja. GTEX Homes. We don't just sell properties. We help you build your future.
My name is Stephen Akintayo. I'm known as Africa's most sought-after investment coach. I started 13 years ago as an entrepreneur and knowing nothing but having the guts and of course wanting to be wealthy, as I was born from a poor family. My mother was a civil servant. My father's business had crumbled before I was born, but I knew that we could be wealthy. But something changed my life. At the age of 17, I started reading a book on money. And I got to know that I can be wealthy. It's possible. I started the first wealth university. By the time you're done with it, you can literally start your own business or be able to learn how to invest in a business and make money for yourself. I'd like you to sign up today in www.stephenakitayouniversity.com. But for nomadic entrepreneurs, and of course with the internet, the whole world is your client.
Right.
Do you now need different PR companies in different parts of the world, or can one PR company cut all?
You can actually have the bigger agencies are able to have affiliate partnerships with other agencies that cover those markets.
Yeah.
So for example, you're living in Dubai and you hire a Dubai-based firm. They might have an affiliate that they work with out of New York if you've got operations in the US. You know, this is all, it can get done. You don't have to be localized. And PR, the great thing about PR and the digital space right now is all our content doesn't have to be localized, right? I mean, look at the strength of social media as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you, with geo-targeting and whatever else you're doing with social media, your content can be seen so in lands you've never even been to.
True.
I mean, we have people reading our content from Asia to you know, Turkey and Iraq, and I didn't even know that until you start looking at the analytics, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to have a singular approach. I think it's just really about your budget, because at the end of the day, it's the numbers, right? It's the numbers.
Very true.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a perception that we Africans don't want to pay top dollar for professional services, particularly in the area of marketing, PR, communication. Why is that, and how can we change that?
I think it boils down to whether you value the importance of the service, because people pay for what they feel they need. You know, people don't pay for something that they think.
So why do we, most African entrepreneurs, you know, just don't feel we should pay? We should just do sister, yeah, sister.
Hey, do you know what? It's a good question, because I talk about this all the time.
Yeah, sister.
Hey,
my,
you know,
sister
my sister
Yvone.
Oh, listen,
Oh,
I
great.
get that.
God bless your heart. Of Zimbabwe.
I tell you, you know the number of calls of that nature I get. Listen, you are the daughter of the soil.
Yes.
Just support us with that. No, I have family to feed. You know, I think we need to kind of come from that. The same way you're expecting somebody to pay for the product or the service that you're offering.
Yeah.
I'm, as a PR person or as a marketing person, I have the same needs, right? I also need to pay for, you know, I also need to be paid for my product and or service. So it boils down to respecting the game, respecting the people that you're working with. Because how do you take a product? You would never walk into a supermarket and just walk out with a trolley full of bread.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna be locked up, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, I think it's important to have open conversations. It could be that people don't understand the process. So they see the numbers attached to a bill or an invoice, and they're like, what am I paying for? And they haven't seen the result. But there's so many elements that come into play.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the results are there, but they think, they expected something different.
Absolutely.
But it's again, with PR, it's a long whole process. If you're doing advertising, you put your billboard up, but it's not going to stay up there forever. Because if it stays up there forever, you have to pay for it to be up there forever.
Yeah.
So it's really about picking and choosing and understanding what you need. Or conversely, you can stand on the side of the road with your placard that has a logo of your business and see how that's going to work for you. If you want to cut costs and do it that way.
Yeah.
Anything good needs to you have to cut the
there
checks.
has to be a good. I mean, anything of value comes with a cost.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's look at Zimbabwe. Has it been? I mean, I remember Robert Mugabe.
Oh, you're putting me in trouble.
And now he's late actually. And so how's home? You were there just a couple of weeks ago.
Zimbabweans are an incredibly resilient people. We have a beautiful country. And, I think we all just want the best out of our country. I marvel at how many success stories we get out of our people. I mean, even here in Dubai, there's amazing, high-flying individuals that are doing well in this space of investment, in the space of in the legal framework, in finance. Myself as a representative in the media space. Across to different countries in Europe. We are everywhere, much like Nigerians are everywhere,
absolutely.
right? Yeah, I think we are all in pursuit of opportunity, and there's others that have chosen to find their opportunity elsewhere, and there's others that are making opportunities and creating opportunities. You have a very high level of entrepreneurially minded people in Zimbabwe, and I think that's what sustains our country. It's a great country, and we are all rooting for it and looking forward to more exciting stuff coming out.
I like
from
that
home.
politically correct answer.
It has to be.
Now this is how you do PR.
What are your key messages?
Nigerians need to come and learn from you. When you ask an average Nigerian, Nigeria messed up. These are bad. Come and learn from her.
No, listen, you cannot. You have to speak life into a situation.
Come,
life.
Jeez, I like it. I like that presentation.
It's real talk, though. Listen, if you there's power of life and death is in the tongue, isn't it?
I know.
Yes. So pick and choose your words.
I'm with you because what was funny, right, was that we were with some of my staff were in Expo 2020 yesterday, and we went to Pakistan Pavilion, and then went to Nigerian Pavilion. So I was the one doing what you just did now, so I could relate. So the branch manager for GTEX here in Dubai, she's from Nigeria, and so I had to come say positive death and life. So she had to come say, it's good. Our leaders are good leaders. I said, now you're being sarcastic. Can't you just, for a few minutes, say good things and do PR?
Listen, I think it's important, though, that we understand that there's no country without its stuff.
Absolutely.
There's no country without its stuff. It's all, where are we putting the fuel?
Yeah.
So if you're fueling the negative, that's what you're going to get. True. You start to see a beauty of a place if you actually start looking for the positives. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I see. It's really in out of Nigeria comes some incredible success stories.
Amazing.
You understand? I mean, one of Forbes 100.
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of Nigerians on that list, right? The top 100 wealthiest or whatever. So we need to kind of harness those stories and use those as tools by which to inspire, generations after us.
Should government employ people like you more, or is it that the people working with them are not good enough in understanding how to curate Because I mean, when you look at what happened in Chicago, what happens in even places like Baltimore. Every day, at least there's 1 or 2 shootings.
More than that,
right?
even.
For
More
Chicago,
than that, even.
Chicago is even crazy.
More than that.
How come you don't see that every day on CNN? You don't see that every day on BBC? But we, are good and fast. And the only thing that comes out of that we ourselves are the ones
as Africans
who push the negative narration.
I will say this. I think on the subject of the continent of Africa, I think it needs our voices as a people. Every institution is made up of people. Whether it's government, public sector, private sector, it's all people, right? And so it's really important that we understand that the essence of what goes on and how it goes on is it's us who lead the chase, right?
Absolutely.
In terms of publicity or messaging, again, it's us. If we are not debunking what's being pushed by mainstream media, I had a conversation with somebody the other day that I was saying, as a person who is working in the travel media space, it's very hard to find images of black people traveling. So for my magazine, even when I do work with different brands and I ask for images, there's no black people. Us are holding the tray, handing the juice over. We are picking the buns to put in the plates. You see what the ones prepping someone for massage, but there is no pictures of the GM who is
the luxury, the best life.
Yes. And even if they are,
I see why you're excited about this show.
Well, listen, even not even that. Even then they are in the context, the context of it.
That you understand that a show like this begin to change. Doing a TV show in a luxury, by Africans, it's part of how we start changing the narrative.
It's changing the narrative and giving context. You and I live in Dubai. It's attainable. We grew up from very humble beginnings. It's attainable. It's not that land out there that nobody can, or you have to be specially connected with this person and that person. We all arrived here with a suitcase. But to sustain it, you have to work really, really hard, So while we're here, and this is not cheap for you to do. Production is not cheap. And for you to be able to pay for it, you have to work for it. So I think if we start sort of unpacking those different bits so people can understand that,
I think so.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference.
And I agree with you 100%, because the problem is, in fact, I just did a show before we started shooting, and I saw 2 locals who, while the car was parked, I was doing the video. They stepped out of their Kia car and they saw the Rolls Royce. You could see a smile on their face. And I said, in Africa, you step out of your car and you see Rolls Royce, you see people frowning.
Of course.
In their mind, how did they get the money?
Who did you steal from?
They must have been tips. And we don't know that we have just de-empowered ourselves to say, you can't make it legitimately, you can't be wealthy legitimately. In the quest to try to fight corruption with politicians, we have then disempowered ourselves and our mind from believing we can make wealth legitimately. So how do we begin to change that?
I think we have to start by believing that we all are part of the solution. We all have this. First of all, there's enough pie for everybody to eat. Okay,
exactly.
There's enough pie.
Exactly. That's the word.
So when I hear people say, "Oh, so it must mean this, that," look, there's enough for everybody. Opportunity and chance comes to us all, right? But the difference is that what decisions we make when the opportunity is presented to us is different, right? Understand that in your sphere of influence and in your ecosystem, you can make a difference. I'm not going out at my life saying I want to I deal with things from a granular level, and what that looks like is I start my day with a plan. I execute that plan, and when it hasn't gone according to plan, I just make realignments and changes. It's kind of like nurturing your career. You start by going to school, getting the training for it, and saying, okay, I need maybe an additional diploma or whatever, because it puts you in the running, right? When you've got your credentials and you've done the work, you can stand before people and say, I'm capable and I can do this because of X, Y, Z. I think part of the challenge with us is there's a certain level of entitlement that happens within us, where it's like, my brother is Dr. Akintayo, so because he's made it, me, I don't have to work. And it's something that we need to help each other understand. Some of these billionaires, they don't leave inheritance.
True.
They're like, they must understand the value of work.
Absolutely.
We are going to give it all to charity. Us, you have sons that are waiting for mom, dad to die so they can take over. So this is a real thing that we have. These are real, honest, open conversations that we need to have about how to empower each other and what that looks like. What that looks like across different spheres. And politicians do politician things. That's what they're supposed to do. But similarly, private sector people, we all have solutions.
And we are more than the politicians that you're using to judge all of us.
We got to do what we need to do where we're at. So if you are in med school, be good at that. If you are working in mining, be great at that. If you
expect to be at the best. And enjoy luxury. And travel. Go on vacation.
Don't wait until you want to go and bury a relative in the village for you to travel. Create pockets of time, and this is the thing though. It's really is attainable. We make excuses before we even do a research.
Exactly.
You have not because you ask not. So when you start having those and reaching out and asking the questions, you'll be amazed at how many people are on standby, have the information that you need for you to do what you need to do affordably. Because not all travel has to be expensive. And travel changes your life because you're able to see something completely different from your day to day. So it's really about debunking a lot of these things that people, he was away at Disney last time.
This
guy. And it's just like, but have you even checked to see if the plane tickets, what they cost?
Exactly.
So you can work towards that. So
Oh, he's in business class. Do you know when I use points?
Are you okay?
He has accumulated the points, and the points just upgraded.
Exactly. It's just having these conversations.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Really been fun driving around Dubai and having this conversation.
It's my absolute pleasure.
So guys, we just finished another amazing episode of Investment Chat in a Rolls Royce with, of course, the founder of Narratives PR, African Dubai-based PR company. So we always try to give a token. I'm not sure if you already have a copy of my book. So
thank you so much.
Billionaire Habits,
awesome.
my latest book, and it's part of changing the narratives for Africans. Because I always say you cannot end racism until you end poverty among Africans.
Okay.
And it's a mental work that needs to be done.
Okay.
Right. It's difficult for anybody to be to practice racism on a rich man. I mean, he will pay your bills. So when we start building that mindset, and even to fight racism require money. I mean, in South Africa, we know how much went into fighting apartheid. Like different African countries had to be contributing money. So anything that is bad or evil, to change it, you still need money.
That's the thing. And I mean, people need to understand that it's not money that's evil, it's the love of it.
Absolutely.
So there's a difference there. We have opportunity. It's a tool. It can solve problems or it can destroy nations.
Absolutely.
So you pick and choose which sides of the money wheel you want to fall on, isn't it?
Thank you for
coming.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
So that's the end of this episode. Feel free. Remember, you can join us next week again. We look forward to having you again with another awesome guest. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.